This bulletin is coming to you live from Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle. Our digital address GA0993341 is also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takrady, and Kekeli Radio in Ho. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank, Let's Go, and Telesol 4G. Just a touch in this edition. Test results from blood samples of two people suspected to be carrying the novel coronavirus proved negative. We'll get details. Meanwhile, authorities at Kolebu Teaching Hospital step up security after one of them left the holding area.
I had information that one of the two being held in the holding room here had left the hospital. I have been speaking to Dr. Esedu Bekwen, who explains that this man went out. He says he was going to buy food. That's the explanation I've got so far.
We'll get the latest as the Noguchi Memorial Institute prepares to hand over results of tests on blood samples of the two. Meanwhile, Ghana Medical Association raises concerns over the safety of frontline health workers likely to deal with suspected cases of deadly coronavirus disease.
Everybody is scared. They are also afraid for their lives. In as much as our members, the health workers, are ready to help treat and prevent the disease, their health must and their lives must also be catered for.
Also here from the Interior Ministry on measures to enhance security at the country's entry points. Minority Chief Whip wants MPs who are students to quit Parliament.
And sometimes you have people, even the assignment and everything, they pay people to do it for them. And then they go and submit it. Some of them go to the online and do consulting and collect people's work, put them together, because they just don't have the time.
That's coming up on the midday news. We also have sports.
Massive boost for Ghana Rugby as President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo donates $100,000 to the Ghana Rugby Football Union.
And as the multimedia group celebrates 25 years of media excellence, we'll look at the major reforms in Ghana's prisons following the broadcast of Joy News' shocking revelations about the inhumane treatment in the country's prisons.
Those in the middle are referred to as sardines because we have arranged them like the way sardines are arranged in a tin.
We explore the impact of the group. All that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Please stay for details. And in our very first story, authorities at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital have stepped up security after one of the two persons suspected to be carrying the novel coronavirus left the holding facility there. The two individuals, one Chinese and an Argentine, showed up at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital yesterday with symptoms similar to those associated with the novel coronavirus disease. We'll get the latest as the Noguchi Memorial Institute prepares to hand over results of tests on blood samples of the two. But first, listen to Dr. Philip Amu, who is with the Public Health Department of the hospital.
The problem is, by walking into the holding bay of a national strategic center like Kolebu, that whole area was on lockdown yesterday, up to this morning. No new patient. Yesterday night there was hard work to rearrange the system, the flow, and everything was done as it should be so that we will minimize contamination. This morning we are on Noguchi because we need the result as quickly as possible.
When did the samples get to Noguchi?
Around 6 p.m. yesterday.
Well, so let's head straight to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital now. Head of our health desk, Fred Smith, has been on this all through. He joins us with the latest. Fred, what do we know as we speak?
Well, we're just being told that the test results, preliminary results from the samples that were being tested by Noguchi have proved negative for coronavirus infection, where I was told just a while ago that the officials are going to do further tests on those samples, but initially what they found is that there's no case of coronavirus.
So, just for clarity, as we speak, Ghana has not recorded any case of the novel coronavirus.
Yes, indeed, you'll be right in saying that.
Okay. Well, but you've been interacting with health officials and all. There was quite some panic and scare following this situation. Tell us a bit more about it.
Well, we're told that last night, one of the two men who are being held in the quarantine left the facility, and this will be the Chinese man who we now know is a banker. We understand that he left and went home, and police were sent to go and get when the spokesperson for the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, who denies this claim but says the person only went to buy food and returned, and so there was no security. But myself, I saw men from the counter-terrorism unit of the Ghana Police Service stationed at the entrance of the accident and emergency. I cannot tell for sure if that's related to this particular incident, but it looked very unusual for them to have been there.
We know that the Ghana Health Service officials have been meeting as a result of this, and then also our preparedness from what you've seen at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. What can you report?
Well, that meeting is underway, and we're expecting that they will brief us on what they've been able to come up with so far. What we know about that is plan how to communicate in case there's an outbreak, or be able to confirm an outbreak in Ghana.
But generally, what's the talk in Kolebu Teaching Hospital?
Well, the workers are very sensitized about the coronavirus disease, and so at the accident and emergency where infection could be high or the risk of infection is high, the workers there are wearing nose masks to ensure that they do not get infected with any coronavirus or any other viral disease should there be an outbreak there.
You have our health desk editor, Fred Smith, on this for us, but the Ghana Medical Association is also concerned about the safety of frontline health workers likely to deal with suspected cases of the deadly coronavirus. Divisional Secretary of the GMA for Greater Accra Region, Dr. Winfred Ba, says staff at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital panicked when these two persons walked in. Listen to his account on the PM Express yesterday.
The first thing is the communication line. The first health facility they went to, if they thought that, okay, let's say they thought we are not prepared or we are not a center, what should they have done? They just said go to. So there's a problem with communication in the first place. And then they got to call. Now everybody is, I'll see people sending me a lot of text messages. Hey, we hear there's a suspected case. There's panic. What is the reporting like?
And this is important because this is among health professionals.
Yes. They have the right to, because everybody is scared. They are also afraid for their life. In as much as our members, the health workers, are ready to help treat and prevent the disease, their health must and their lives must also be catered for. So we are getting ready, like he said, but we are not ready yet.
Okay. A few things. Do they have protective gear?
Yes. So when I talked to the public health director, we have the protective equipment. So those who attended to them had the protective equipment.
Okay.
But the thing is that I don't know whether they took public transport or they took a car. They actually got in, walked through, and got there. Yeah. And in the emergency there, we have very sick patients whose immune systems are low. Yeah. And those are the kind of people who have severe disease.
That's Dr. Winfred Ba. He's the Divisional Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association for the Greater Accra Region. Now, the Deputy Director of the Public Health Department of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Asiedu-Bekwin, who admits the first medical facility did not handle the matter well, says investigations are underway to identify those who may have interacted with the two patients.
What's happening in that facility is not what we expect. What we expect is that if you see a case that could be coronavirus, you put in the holding room, and then if you have the capacity to take samples, you take, or you call, and then the people who are trained to take the samples based on the findings. Then you decide where the treatment center should be. So if you need to move the person, the ambulance will move the person to Tema or Bridge. So that's the arrangement that we have made.
Are we going to do any contact tracing to check who these people may have come into contact with, especially in the hospital?
Yes. So we are asking, we do what we call the contact listing. So we're getting the list of all persons that have been close. And we do further than that. We put more to them to know who their friends are, who their colleagues are. I mean, that's the way we do contact listing, and then you try to trace them for 14 days. But hopefully by noon, we will get the results.
And that's when the contact tracing will begin?
No. We try to identify the contacts, that's the contact identification, and you list them, and then you start to do the follow-up. So it's a whole process.
Has it started?
Yes, we have asked them to start identifying the persons that we've come into contact with. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll get an idea who the contacts are.
That's Dr. Franklin Asiedu-Bekwin, Deputy Director of Public Health Department of the Ghana Health Service. Let's head to the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, where a treatment center has been set up. Joy News' Ifwa Evans Chinwe has been touring the facility, and she reports that 35 staff members have been put on standby to deal with possible cases. Ifwa, tell us about the composition of these staff.
The medical tour of the treatment center and the holding center says the staff comprises the nurses, doctors and security personnel. This treatment center we're talking about is fully furnished with a staff waiting area and 4 prepared rooms to handle cases that come in. Each of these rooms has a bathroom which includes a toilet and a bath, quite a sizable bed with clean bed sheets, a ceiling fan, an air conditioner and hand sanitizers. There are 2 of these centers, like I said earlier, the holding room and the treatment room. The holding room is where you're kept if you're suspected to have the virus, and the treatment room is for patients with confirmed cases of the virus. So you're kept in the holding room before you're taken to the treatment room. I can say for a fact, Emefa, that the Greater Accra Regional Hospital is ready to handle cases of novel coronavirus. Dr. Imen Osofenyo, Medical Director here at the hospital, has been speaking about the facilities preparedness.
We have an emergency response team which is already existing in the hospital. We activated the team and then strengthened the team with additional members of staff so that we can increase the numbers. Currently, we have 26 nurses set aside and standing by for deployment to the center. We also have 9 doctors who have also been made to stand by to be deployed to the center. We have security men and their orderlies. And what the other thing we did also was to train these people and update them on the processes, the physiological processes of this virus, the pathology and the physiology of this virus. We have also gone further to also provide as many of the protective equipment as we can currently lay hand on, and they have all been deployed into the center. We have also created an elaborate process map referring to the processes that an indicated case or either confirmed or suspected case will go through once we discover you at the emergency that you might be somebody who is a suspect or confirmed.
That's the Medical Director of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Srofenyo. Now, the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, says government is working tirelessly to keep the novel coronavirus out of the country. The assurance comes out ahead of NGOs in hell. Dr. Gabriel Banaku called on authorities to step up surveillance at the country's entry points.
We have to do something different. What we are doing, we are thinking that God is on our side and nothing will happen. You need to immediately activate all the sub-regional centers. I'm talking about Sampa, I'm talking about Nandom, I'm talking about Bumprugu Yoyo, and I'm talking about the Western region. Those areas must be properly activated. And we are talking about the communication, risk, and community engagement all over the world, where we are able to curtail some of these emergencies is because people are properly educated and engaged.
We can now hear from Ambrose Derry, who spoke on the sidelines of a conference in Accra, and he says that all measures earlier mapped out by the Health Ministry to Parliament are strictly being followed, especially at the country's borders.
I can assure you that we are going to follow it religiously, and we believe that with those measures in place, we hope that we can, just as we did in the case of the Ebola, that we would be able to keep it out. What I would say is that we are appealing to all Ghanaians who are coming from China to submit themselves so that we can make sure they go through those. And we have also appealed to the Chinese to make sure they do the same. They are assuring us that they will do to all those who are before they come to Ghana, but even when they come, we want to be assured. And I'm happy that all of you are alive to it. Help us so that we come together and protect Ghana.
So they had that the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, and the good news is the test results of the blood samples of the 2 people suspected to be carrying the novel coronavirus has proved negative. But just in case you're wondering, here are tips to know about novel coronavirus.
The Ghana Health Service and the WHO both advise people to frequently wash their hands with alcohol-based hand rub, or what we call a sanitizer, or warm water and soap. Cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue when sneezing or coughing. Avoid close contact with anyone who has a fever or cough. And if you touched a surface suspected to have been infected, do not touch your eyes, nose, and mouth before you wash your hands. Avoid eating raw or uncooked animal products, and seek medical help immediately if you discover any of the symptoms, and share your travel history with healthcare providers.
Mike, that's the Health Desk editor, Fred Smith. They're giving us some tips. We're on this for you. No need to panic at this point. Let's head to Parliament, because the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has pulled the brakes on efforts by government to push through a $993 million hydro solar irrigation dam project in Pualugu. The minority says the project is bloated and fraudulent, and they won't support it. Joseph Opoku Gakpo is in Parliament for us. Give us more details on this, Joseph.
So this document was laid just before the House went on break on the 24th of December. According to the minority, they say they've not been given adequate time in order to peruse through the document. The Finance Committee has brought a report to the House recommending approval. The minority claims that their members didn't sit as part of the hearing at the level of the Finance Committee. And earlier, there was an effort by the majority side led by Matthew Nindam to get it approved by the House. And the minority indicated they will boycott if it went ahead. Eventually, the Speaker pulled brakes on the processes and said that next week, Tuesday, between now and then, they should have resolved the differences and come back to the House so they can debate and assure and get the necessary approval done.
That if it involves our initiative on Christmas Day, we shall do so. So all those references, please, let's leave them out, because I'm only dealing with business fully seized off by this honorable House accordingly. The referral was made to the Finance Committee and leaders of the Agri and Energy Committee. Those who it was referred to had the duty to do their work and report to this House. Those who choose to contribute may do so, and those who don't want to contribute committees may not do so. Furthermore, we all know in this House, in both sides, there have been all manner of boycotts at some time or the other.
We'll stay a while longer in Parliament, this time on education, because the Minority Chief Whip, Mutaka Mubarak, is asking his colleagues who double as students to resign. He says it is out of place that MPs and ministers as well as public servants fail to concentrate on their work and rather devote government time to the education. Listen to him.
It's so bad, because when you are hearing, we are here in Parliament, with the greatest of reasons, sometimes I have complaints to tell my colleagues, look, being a member of Parliament is a full-time job. You can't take public time to say that you are going to school. If you want to go to school, resign as a member of Parliament so I can go and go to school. You cannot be shuttling between Parliament and some institution that you are going to school. It is wrong, because you are using public time. That's bad attitude. If you choose to go to school, resign as a member of Parliament, go and do your schooling. When you finish, come back and contest and be a member of Parliament. You cannot double as a member of Parliament and also a student. In much the same way, you go to most of our offices. Even in Parliament here, you have our staff. They leave their job 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, that they are running to school. How can such a person sit and concentrate to learn? He will be hopping in and hopping out. And yet the system allows people to be hopping in and hopping out.
Now, Joseph, tell us the reaction of his colleagues to this.
Even some of those on the minority side, where his leader appeared to disagree with him, insisting that education is a continuous learning process, and so there shouldn't be any hindrance on the part of anyone who wants to get education, whether the person is a minister or even a member of Parliament.
So that's my colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo reporting from Parliament. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's turn our attention now to sanitation, because public health officers of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly have today closed down a luxury movie house at North Kaneshi. The action was taken after a Labadi Circuit Court ordered the closure of the facility after it was found to have channeled the toilet of its facility into the drains. Here are excerpts.
Under no circumstance should this door be opened without our permission.
No. They will not even temper if they want to temper.
For this one, we are not locking it. We are locking this one.
This one.
This one. Yes.
Yes.
So please lock this one. This is. Yes. So we are done. Okay. So we are done with the court order. So we are leaving. On 21st of this month, we'll meet in court. They said they have all the things that we asked them to produce. They will bring it in addition to what is still flowing outside there.
The Clean Campaign Queen is on, and Nancy Emefa Apawu. Fill us in on what we heard.
So, Emefa, this is actually called the Luxury Movie House. It's a story building located somewhere at North Kaneshie. Now, what has happened is that they have channeled their toilets into the drains that pass through the entire community. And so we were taken into the gutter, and we could see effluent in the gutter, and they have just covered it with cement blocks. And so the officers had gone there in October last year to give them a notice for them to change and seal that particular channel into the gutters, but they failed. Then they went to court. Court asked them to stop. They failed, and court invited them to come and appear in court. They failed. A bench warrant was sent for them for their arrest. They went to arrest them, and they managed to escape. And so today was the final draw as the court gave them the order for the place to be closed down. In fact, when we got there, they didn't want us to have access to the premises because they felt that the manager of the facility was not around. Visitors were also in their rooms. But then Madam Kuchi gave them just 10 minutes for them, all the visitors, to come down. And then we had access to the building, and the place was closed down.
That's my colleague Nancy Emefa Apawu. We stay a while longer on sanitation because Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Sam George is fuming with rage over the continuous discharge of liquid waste by real estate company Deftraco Limited into open spaces of the community. The MP who has petitioned the Water and Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abnadapa over the situation says the residents around the estate in his constituency narrated how the company, without due regard to the laws of the land, is discharging the liquid waste containing fecal matter directly into the community. My colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson is on that tour. He joins us on the line. How serious is the situation, Parker?
Well, MFI, it has taken over the road, and as we speak, vehicles plying that particular road find it very difficult to use the road because there are deep potholes on the road as well. And so the liquid waste has compounded the problem. And sometimes it even spills over to shops just nearby the gutter. So the residents of the area are still complaining that the managers of Deftraco should do something about it. And that is why they invited the MP to quickly intervene in the matter.
That's my colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson. The midday news. We'll take a quick break. Before we go, our top stories: test results from the blood samples of 2 people suspected to be carrying the novel coronavirus is proving negative. Still to come, residents in Western Region will suffer water rationing a while longer after Ghana Water Company announces extension to water rationing program there. And then also, as the multimedia group celebrates 25 years of broadcasting excellence, we look at the major reforms in Ghana's prisons following the broadcast of Joy News' shocking revelations about the inhumane treatment in the country's prisons.
Those in the middle are referred to as sardines because we have arranged them like the way sardines are arranged in a tin.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
All right, people. This is Kwabna, and the 14th of February is the Love Experience. Come, let's chill. Come, let's hang out. Come with your partner. Come with your loved ones. Come with family. Come with everybody. It's the Love Experience once again on the 14th.
To buy your tickets for the Love Experience with Becca and Kwabna via Momo, just dial *920*50#. Select the buy ticket option and select option 3 to purchase it.
Let's do sports now on the midday news. Hans?
And President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has made $100,000 donation to the Ghana Rugby Football Union. The gesture was made when the Ghana Rugby Women's Sevens national team and the Ghana Eagles paid a courtesy call on the president at the Jubilee House to present the trophies they won at the 2019 Rugby Africa Women's Challenge.
Our lady here, our mother here who looks after all of us at the presidency, the chief of staff, she's saying that from her very limited budget, she's going to be able to find a reasonable amount of seed money to help you for meeting the cost of camping and also providing a little incentive for you, especially now you've brought to us these 4 cups.
The President also asked the Minister of Youth and Sports to engage the managers of the rugby team and the National Sports Authority to work together and allow the rugby team train at the National Sports Stadium, as it is a public facility that belongs to the people of Ghana.
There should be no obstacle. They should be given the opportunity. These stadia are public facilities. They don't belong to, even to the National Sports Authority. They belong to the people of Ghana. And they are part of the Ghanaian fabric. But I think you should have an opportunity to sit down and look into it seriously and do your best to open the door.
His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That's your sport.
Thank you very much, Hans. Now, Western Region residents will suffer water rationing for a while longer. That's according to the Ghana Water Company, which has announced an extension to the exercise due to a steep drop in water supply levels. Rationing began in January, but is expected to ease somewhere in April if things brighten up. Prolonged drought and galamsey activities have caused the production level of about 4.5 million gallons a day to drop to 2.3 million gallons, a figure described as woefully inadequate to serve the demand of the region. Here's the regional production manager, Engineer Vincent Opokuwari Donko.
For our average, the design capacity of the plant is 27,000 cubic meters. And normally we do 22,000 as the average production per day. But currently we are doing about 16,000. So it tells you that the production is a little bit down. So if you look at the situation now, the weather itself has having an effect on the volume of water that we can draw. We are currently in the dry season, and with the dry season we have a lot of evaporation. The river spans about 3 regions. That the Pra, so goes through Ashanti region. I think it's from Brahafo region through Ashanti, through Central, then through Western to the sea.
And over the past 25 years, the multimedia group focus has been about impacts on a society in dire need of change. Constant change. For example, in the year 2016, our documentary team uncovered for the first time extensive congestion in Ghana's prisons and the inhumane treatment prisoners are subjected to. The Joining series by Seth Kwame Boateng was captured in 2 documentaries titled Locked and Forgotten and Left to Rot. As we celebrate our Silver Jubilee, Joy News editor Fifi Kumsing looks back on the impacts of the documentary that sparked major reforms in Ghana's prisons.
The documentaries Locked and Forgotten and Left to Rot were a game changer in the advocacy for reforms in Ghana's prison system.
Those in the middle are referred to as sardines because we have arranged them like the way sardines are arranged in a tin. There's no space between them.
Across the country, thousands of inmates remained crammed in tiny little spaces in the prisons. Their cases had not been determined. No criminal verdict pronounced, but they were held in the most inhumane of conditions. It's a situation prison officials could do very little about. Seth Kwame Boateng was on the beat.
The inmates, together with their officers, agreed to lead me to their places of convenience. The stench is extremely unbearable.
Following the revelations, the then Chief Justice, Justice Georgina Theodora Wood, was moved. She reactivated the Justice for All program, a policy to try cases right in the prisons.
I have decided to speak to you on this, given the centrality of the issue to the hearts of Ghanaians and my own lamentations following the graphic images presented by the recent media documentary of Mr. Seth Kwame Boateng of Joy FM.
And as a result, some inmates were released on the Justice for All program. Others also went on to pursue higher education. Some of them graduated. Very good. And we're still celebrating 25 years of media excellence. What are people talking about on social media?
Well, people are talking about the coronavirus, and Lakeem Jacob says, please let our leaders know that if this infection happens to enter Ghana, the outcome is going to be fatal, because here in Ghana we pay little or no attention to hygiene practices. Abdullah Berry says, if the virus finds its way in Ghana, I am afraid the authorities cannot handle or control the spread of it.
It won't come to Ghana. As we speak, the test results are proving negative, and it will stay that way. In Jesus' name, can I hear an amen? And that's it for the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM. Dr. Mensa Otabil has living word. I am Emefa Apawu.